Logan Keevan, the winner of the Train with Kai Greene contest for 2013, is about to get a glimpse at a higher level of training. Logan has been an avid bodybuilder for the past 3 years after recovering from a severe head injury. As they begin their leg training session today, Kai feels Logan might not be prepared for the level of intensity that Greene regularly brings to his workouts.
Guy, how long are we looking at here? I want the longest, meanest thing you got.
The longest, meanest thing?
That you can do, yeah.
Nah.
Why not? Come on.
Because number one, you don't know what you're asking for.
That's the point. I don't want to know. I just want to do it.
Right. How long have you been training?
3 years.
3 years. Now,
I've been training since I was 11, but just doing strictly bodybuilding for 3 years.
Good news. There are steps toward getting anywhere, you know, in life. There are steps. You have to understand that there's some skills today that, as you are only training for 3 years, that you're not expected to have that a seasoned professional would.
Oh, yeah.
So, let me
rephrase it then. Huh? Within what you would think my 3-year boundary would be, I want you to push me to at least a little bit beyond that 3-year boundary to let me experience something new, something that you think would be like a wise yet suitable workout.
Well said. Well said.
Even though Logan is eager for a challenge today, it wasn't that long ago when it seemed as if he would never be able to engage in rigorous physical activity again. Several head injuries, sustained while playing football, threatened his future as an athlete.
Pretty much I got a series of concussions, and after the third one I saw for the second time a black circle in my view, and that freaked me out because I was like, oh gosh, am I going blind? I don't know what this is. So I told my school nurse, who apparently thought it was a big deal for me to have 3 concussions, and I was rushed to the emergency room where I was told that I cannot participate in contact sports anymore. And I remember that night I was just crying. As soon as you told me that, I was just sitting there crying in the emergency room. I couldn't exercise. I would sleep as long as I was mentally capable of staying in my bed, because I didn't want to leave my bed. That's when I found bodybuilding. And when I first looked up that YouTube video and I looked up bodybuilding, I found the Bodybuilding Monster video with Kai Greene. It had Kai Greene walking out of a gym in the city with his big gym bag and his red Muscle Meds hoodie. And I said, wow, like, look at that guy. Like, is that possible to do that?
What matters most at this time is what you say. You know, you are in the driving seat, and your training is a conversation with yourself. Hopefully today, if nothing else, I would like to put some things in your mind that help you think more clearly about what you're doing going forward within the gym training. Should you be put in touch with something that may be a little bit challenging? Absolutely. You know, but the challenge doesn't come from me. The challenge comes from you. You know?
Personally, I've looked at lifting as like that emotional retreat. It's like a place I can just get away and get in tune with myself. And from that, I've now loved that experience so much and continue to love it. And that is what has inspired me to want to be where you're at and want to be on your level, so that I can do this as a career.
Wow, there is so much that you just said that I can definitely identify with. The beauty about this thing is that you can start from wherever you are. So you're off to a great start.
If this contest was for me to meet any bodybuilder, it would have been Kai. Because to me, he's like the ultimate underdog. in his YouTube video, he says like, you have to save yourself. And during my concussion time, I listened to that video and I was sitting in my bed like in tears, like almost all the time. And I heard him and those words, like, you have to save yourself. And I was like, no one else can get me out of this situation right now. Like, this is up to me, like, for me to make that change.
It's like you have to save your own life. 'Cause nobody's gonna be able to save it for you.
Kai unintentionally was like a direct motivation to me. Like, he was telling me that.
Okay, so let's get it. We're gonna start with a basic crunch, and we're gonna move on from there. You ready? Let's go. 2, 14, 22, 23, 39, contract, 49, 50, good news. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn on our side, pelvis on the side, right? Now I'm gonna reach over with my fingertips. I'm feeling for muscle contraction. Now I'm gonna reach for my external obliques. I'm going to stretch and contract. Stretch and contract. 12, contract, 20. Now, from here, I'm gonna stretch, bend my knee. 1, 2, 3, articulate the movement. 4, 10, all right. Gonna turn over. Same moves apply on the other side. Here, 10, your mind is here. 11, make this harder, let's go. 12, let's go. 13, let's go. 8, that's why I'm poking you, make it hard. 9, flex this, 10, good, all right. Flat on your back, buddy. Lower it, bottom, and up, 1, good job. 20, excellent. Now, left elbow out to the left side. My right knee goes out to the right side. I'm looking for a line that stretches across my body from elbow, left elbow to right knee, and I'm gonna squeeze. 2, 3. Other side. Right elbow, left knee. 1, 2, 16. Get this. 17. Okay. Slow down. 18. What I want you to do is squeeze this. Flex this as you reach over. Yes. Don't just do the movement without contracting them. Feels good. See, yes. This is what you need. 20. Good. Stay away from empty movements. You want every movement you make to count. All right, because every movement has a purpose. So we finish that. All right. We go back to the beginning.
To start off with the ab workout, that was the most difficult ab workout I've probably ever done in that short amount of time, because he was just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And I usually do like one of those huge sets for him, and then I'd take a break and then I'd repeat it. But he just repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. And every time I'd not know how many reps he was gonna do. And for the crunches especially, he would get to 25 and I'd be like, okay, maybe it's 30. And then he'd get to 30, like 31, 32, and I'd be like, oh gosh, okay, I guess we're going to 50.
So let's go. 5, open up all the way, let's go. 6, open up all the way, let's go. 11, give me one more. 12, all right, back to the beginning. 3, 4.
I've always gone with sort of like the Dorian Yates approach. You go in the gym, you get it done, you do all your workouts, like 45-second to a minute breaks, and then you're out. But then Kai took that same intensity, but just did it longer, and I wasn't used to that. And so that hour and a half mark went by, and I was like, okay, we've been doing stuff really solid, and we haven't even started legs.
This stuff is really, really, really critical for you to be aware of when you're thinking about training your legs. Don't think you just walk into the gym and, okay, I'm doing leg day, so now I'm gonna go and just pack on the weight and try to, just start squatting because they tell me to squat. In order to be able to train your legs to grow, you have to be in command of your instrument. The only way to be in command of it is to learn how to feel it, connect with it, What are your leg muscles,
So you create a mental connection by stretching each and individual leg part before you train?
Absolutely.
How long does that usually take?
Well, you know what? If you were trying to become a good basketball player or a good tennis player or a good baseball player, how long would you have to practice? How much time would you have to allocate for practice?
That's true, because I never thought about it, but this is the practice and that's the action, as opposed to the practice for baseball is practicing and then the action is playing baseball. It's very true.
See, a lot of times people say, oh, I want to be a professional bodybuilder, but aren't really aware of all the things that go into it. You know, it's like seeing a football player score a touchdown and think, oh man, I love the press and the accolades that it looks like when you score a winning play. But what needs to be realized is all of the effort and application of work and thought that goes into the behind the scenes long before the brilliant plays are made.
Same with bodybuilding. Like, people see you on stage, but that's not what you look like year round. You gotta plan for it and work hard for it.
And this is where you pay. This is where it starts, right here. You know, when I was a kid, there used to be a television show called Fame. And on it, there was this TV personality back in the 80s named Debbie Allen. And she had this really cool monologue that used to play every time they opened up. She said, you got big dreams, you want fame? Well, fame costs. And right here is where you start paying with sweat. And you are sweating right now, and we're just going through some basic stretches and a warm-up.
Absolutely.
So it does cost, and everybody pays their price to get where they're trying to go. So if you are willing to pay, if you're willing to work, if you're willing to stay committed, then there is a payday for it, you know, and the payday will come. Okay, so strong fundamentals. Training legs. Legs always start with calves. To me, start with calves. Reason why I say this is because there used to be a time when I first started training, I thought my legs were a reflection of my training. And my training was a reflection of how I thought. Because I spent so much time and effort invested in squats, leg extensions, this, and this for quads, I ended up developing legs that had great quads, but hamstrings that were inferior in development to my quads, and then calves that were even far behind the both of them. All right, here we go. I break this up into 3 segments. Toes in, heels out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna turn my heels in, toes out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then parallel. In order to balance my physique, I had to start thinking about addressing the areas that were behind. So in this case, I adopted the idea of training my calves first. And even to this day, as a professional bodybuilder, I still think along those lines. I still train my calves first. So for me, my approach to training legs starts with my calves. So on a leg day, I'll turn around and I'll start with 3 movements for calves after my warm-up and after I do abs. Boom, boom, yow.
Even after the first calf exercise, I immediately felt the deterioration from the warm-up, from the long exercise warm-up with the back, the chest, the abs, the cardio. So as soon as we hit those calves, I was already feeling that burn, that like skin-tight burn in my calves. Like, okay, this is the first exercise, how's this going? And I was like, whatever, just do it.
We're gonna go to donkey calf raises. Now, I believe that by turning my toes in and bending my knee, I'm able to get my soleus to start working and bring it online first. So I'm able to pre-exhaust it before my gastrocnemius comes in and just dominates everything. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, because it's a harder area to hit.
So every calf exercise, I try to start with my toes in and my heels out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Out to start.
Toes in, heels out.
I had noticed in my own development, I would say, wow, you know, my quads look great. But personally, I feel like my calves are nowhere near my quads. And so Kai, without knowing that, said, so you do calves first, because then you have your peak energy, and then your hamstrings, and then your quads afterwards.
4. One thing I want to point out to you is while you're doing that movement, you don't want to keep moving through your knees. This you don't want to do. You want to stop, lock it in, and that's it. The only movement you want to occur is down in your ankle joint. The weight will come. You don't have to worry about using a whole lot of weight just yet. Toes in, heels out. Whenever you do an exercise for your calf, your arm, your chest, any body part, as a bodybuilder, you want to imagine with each contraction that the muscle expands. You want to make them expand out. You want to think expansion. You want to think growth. You want to think larger than. Toes in, heels out, stretch the bottom up to the top, squeeze. Always thinking expansion. 2, 5, 6, 7. This exercise is key. It's a key fixture. You gotta do these with conviction. Never think that seated calf raises are not important. They are critical. So let's get it. Approach this seriously. This is a tool of the trade right here. 1, 2, 8, let's go. 9, let's go. 10, let's go. Calf training speaks a lot to flexibility of the joint, you know, ankle flexibility. Believe it or not, a lot of times we as bodybuilders don't think that flexibility is very important, but it is, because it speaks to the overall efficiency of how well you can work a muscle group. So don't think that, you know, stretching or being conscious of something like that is for sissies or that's for dancers or that's for martial artists. It doesn't apply to me as a bodybuilder. Absolutely it does, you know? That's what's part of those fundamentals, again, that can take you a very long way, yes? Yeah. All right, let's get it. 2, 3, 4, squeeze them calves. 5, make them work. 6, let's go. 7, 8, 9, 5, make them feel like fists. 6, 7, 8, let's go. 9, 10, good job. With me showing you these 4 exercises, you make them a fixture in the beginning of your leg program, immediately your calves will start to become a reflection of this new kind of thinking. It's a big jump from just doing 1 or 2 exercises in the past. So you've increased the work volume. By increasing the work volume, you increase the likelihood of a better response in the way of hypertrophy and growth. There's no reason why 6 weeks from now, your calves don't start to speak in a way that say, hey dude, how you doing?
I trained with Kai.
Right. I'm gonna show you 2 movements for hamstrings and show you 2 movements for quads. The key to this though is execution. I lock my glutes. Lock my glutes. My hamstrings are already online. As you can see, I'm already contracting them before I even get started. Raise it up to the top. I'm flexing my hamstring. Leading with my heel. Lower to the bottom of the movement. Boom. Bottom of the movement. Stretch. Squeeze. Stretch. Squeeze. 4, 5, 6, 7. Lead with your hand, with your heel. Chest up. Yes. 3, 4. Flex this. 7. Your mind is here. 8. This should feel like piano wire the whole time. 9, 14, 15. Let's go. 16. Flex this. Now look at this here. See this? This is a trick. When I do this, my glute is responsible for taking my femur bone and pulling it back. Pulling it back. Now there's activation on my hamstring before I even begin to raise this. 9, slow it down, slow it down. 10, you gotta make this work. I like this right here. 11, let's go. 12, 14, come on.
Like mentally, it took me like the first few reps to get comfortable with it, but he would say like flex it, and then he'd be like, no, that's not it, flex it. And then I'd physically like, all right, I'm trying as hard as I can, I'm gonna flex this. And then he finally went like, that's it right there.
Let's go. 20, excellent. Good job. This is one of my favorite leg curls. This is the bomb diggy. Up to the top, squeeze. Down to the bottom. Stretch, leading with the heels. 2, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15. Hamstring, glutes, let's rock. 1, yes, good, let's go. 2, come on. 3, 13, let's go. 14, let's go, let's go. 15, let's go, let's go. 18, squeeze this, 19, squeeze this, 20, good job. In between your set, this, I know this is a little advanced, but what I'm trying to do is impress on your mind the need to flex your muscles in between your set. What that's gonna do, it's gonna help increase your mind and muscle connection. That means your ability to command your body to work.
One of the biggest things I'll take out of, he said to me like that I already have a good mind-muscle connection in my legs. And to me, I was just like, wow, Kai Greene just gave me a compliment on like me having that mind-muscle connection, which is his whole thing he goes by. And so I was like, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Now, perfect time to stretch here. Open up. Don't be scared, because now you got some blood in there. You should be feeling like the man right now. Those muscles should be online. They should feel white, active. Oh, what are you, Jean-Claude Van Damme? All right, all right. It's important to think about what the muscles do. That's the only way you start to develop your concentration and your ability in your mind. Your imagination will work with you to think accordingly. It helps your training. It increases your mental sharpness. You gotta do that. The best in the business, the best of all time in any endeavor, are not people that go about it haphazardly. They may allow you to think that. And sometimes we may think that about them by looking at them from the surface. But the truth is, the people that get the most out of something are the people that put the most into it. By knowing what the muscles do, I'm able to be in touch with a lot more creativity when it comes to understanding, thinking, and mapping out a course towards getting where I'm trying to go. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely. I could see how that would allow you to like mentally just focus on like the minors, not even just the major muscles.
Well said, brother. See down here, remember?
Yep.
This is how I activate
the
my
stretch.
Driving through my heels. Check this out. If I want to make my quads work more, I can turn my knees in. Look at where I place my pelvis. See this?
So they're closer?
My knees are turned in a little bit more, and I'm taking a little bit more of the pressure off of my glutes, because now when my knees are out, my glutes are contracted, and I'm able to use my hamstrings to assist my quads a lot more. All right. You should never be able to feel like your airway is restricted. You rested on your delts. What I do is, when I flex my front delt, it's like we spent the time doing these front raises. Well, now that forms a nice little area, a nice little cushion. 1, 2, 14. Don't lock your knee. Let's go. 15. Keep your knees soft locked. It's right here. You should be able to flex your quad. Keep the flexion on your legs the whole time. Let's go. Down at the bottom. Down, 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 down. Let's go. 19. Let's go. 20. Good. On the rack.
I don't think I'll be putting any weight on there.
Oh, don't worry about that. This is not about that. The weight will come. The weight will come. But right now, you get these mechanics. Right now, just getting the mechanics is enough. 1, 5, control, sit up, sit up, sit up. 6, keep your trunk on top of your quad. Let your quads absorb this resistance. 10, don't run, don't run.
We just kept going, and then we finally get to the bar, and then my legs are just so hit from being going. We got to that bar, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So it hurt so much to do that. But I was just like, no, man, this is Kai Greene telling me to squat, and I'm gonna squat right now.
There's one more exercise that I would want to throw in there too, fundamental, and a lot of people underestimate its value, but I think it's very, 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 very important. Look at me from the side. You see where my ankle joint is and my knee joint? Notice where my back is. I'm not here. I'm not struggling and all that. I'm looking at trying to create my own version of 90-degree angles in my joints. Okay, hey, hold on, before you get that, look at me here. See how you just normal? Never that. Stop, take a minute, get in position. I pull my pelvis underneath me. I flex my hamstrings, flex my glute, flex my quads. I'm ready to get ready, okay. Right angles. This movement is important for developing the inner thigh, developing your hamstrings, your glutes, and your quads. The reason why we take a big step by not letting your knee go over your big toe allows you, 1, to keep your knee safe. But 2, it also allows you to activate your glutes, allows you to activate your hamstrings. While you're stretching like that, even your back leg is working to help stabilize your back leg, your femur bone from the back, from dropping you out into a split. This is a great exercise for everything. Your ideas now that govern your training should be to make sure that you develop your legs, you develop your hamstrings, develop your calves from the ground up. Yeah.
I'm gonna do that you'll see. I'll check in with you.
Okay.
Check in with you again, you'll see.
Well, this is hopefully this will be some good ideas that will help you, and this is a great place to start. Calves, calves, calves. Calves before, hamstrings, and then quads. All right?
He is the real world superhero. He's the real world Superman. You know, he has the power, but he's humble about it. He has the superpower abilities, but he doesn't use them for evil, he uses them for good. You know? I didn't expect bodybuilding to become sort of the positive disease, I guess, to spread as much as it has within my own life. So when people see that I'm like in my element with this, they say like, wow, that's a good energy. And that's something I want to be a part of. But like for me, it's like Kai Greene's out there, you know, he's doing it. So like I can do that too. And that's the sort of Superman like energy that I get from him. And that's the simplest way to describe Kai Greene.
There's absolutely no substitute for hard work. No room for compromise when you want to see your dreams realized. Every day I perform thousands of calculated actions with the purpose of achieving my ultimate goal. I've been privileged to have Muscle Meds as my sponsor. They've given me access to the most powerful muscle building supplements in the world. To me, they're more than a supplement company. They're my support team. Family. Working with Muscle Meds and their products have given me a huge competitive edge. When I was first approached by the director Vlad Uden to be a part of the Generation Iron cast, I knew it would be the opportunity of a lifetime. A year later, the film was released. The questions started coming in about one particular scene. What's in that bottle in your kitchen? What is the secret sauce? The bodybuilding world was curious, but the product hadn't even come out yet. I was introduced to the secret sauce 2 years ago when the product was still in development. They didn't give me much information because they wanted my unbiased feedback, but I could tell they were on to a major breakthrough. While using secret sauce, after my workouts within just a few weeks, I started to experience drastic differences in my physique. My muscles became bigger, fuller, and my recovery time was significantly reduced. Since then, secret sauce has become a mandatory tool in my post-workout supplemental regimen, and it's helped me to achieve my best Olympia performance yet.
Secret Sauce is the world's first post-workout formula to contain bovine serum albumin, also known as BSA. BSA is a unique, fast-absorbing bioactive protein derived from bovine blood plasma with extensive research in support of its unique ability to promote lean muscle growth more effectively than any other anabolic compound. The BSA in Secret Sauce is made with an unprecedented process that no other manufacturer can claim. This process involves an elaborate series of steps to preserve the potent bioactive growth factors and other anabolic constituents found within the purified blood plasma. The end result is the world's finest BSA.
What is unique about this formulation is that it's specifically designed to enhance post-workout skeletal muscle growth and repair. In particular, bovine serum albumin is not only high in growth factors, but it's extremely high in concentration in the amino acids leucine and isoleucine. Now, as many of you know, leucine serves as the trigger for skeletal muscle protein synthesis via activating the anabolic enzyme mTOR. Also interesting is that isoleucine appears to increase skeletal muscle glycogen resynthesis. Now, this is critical because it means that the carbohydrates you consume in this post-workout formula will be directed towards skeletal muscle. I cannot emphasize the importance of this enough because skeletal muscle protein synthesis is an extremely energetically taxing process and cannot be sustained without the increase or maintenance of intracellular ATP. One of the things that research shows us is that carbohydrates paired with amino acids enhances skeletal muscle glycogen resynthesis. This formulation contains specific amino acids known to optimize the post-workout insulin response. Finally, research shows that creatine supplementation given during the post-workout window optimizes the effects of this ingredient on skeletal muscle adaptations. That's exactly why it's included in this formulation.
The world's first bioactive plasma post-workout formula. Bioactive proteins and peptide, fast absorption and enhanced nutrient transport, leucine-loaded 10:1:1 BCAA complex, insulinotropic amino acids, iSpike reactive carbohydrate system, PowerAmp Cre3 creatine complex.
I use MuscleMed secret sauce to put myself in the best position to achieve my goal. And I'm getting close. The secret is out. To get the full reward of my hard work in the gym, I use MuscleMed secret sauce after every workout.
To be a champion bodybuilder requires careful attention to details in your training, diet, and supplementation. To help you reach your goals, MuscleMed's Performance Technologies represents the pinnacle in supplementation science. MuscleMed supplements have been the core of Kai Greene's regimen since 2008, and the results speak for themselves. MuscleMeds has a proven track record of creating the biggest innovations in sports supplementation. Products like Carnivore Beef Protein Isolate, No Bull XMT, and Secret Sauce are as serious as it gets when it comes to building muscle. Download this free training guide digital app brought to you by MuscleMeds at the App Store, or visit MuscleMedsRx.com to download the printable version. MuscleMeds, as serious as it gets.